Shalom and welcome to another Forward to Yahweh study. Just a short addition to the to the monogamy or polygamy video made earlier on. It is wrong to assume that if God wanted polygamy as his design, he would have made Adam, Eve, Rebecca, Stephanie, Mary in the garden, as the video maker states 7 minutes 30 seconds into part 1 of the video. Firstly, Adam was not made in the garden, possibly neither Eve. Man was made elsewhere and put in the garden. Genesis chapter 2 verse 8 reads, "And Yahweh God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed." Verse 15, "And Yahweh God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden." Eve was brought to Adam, but it should not be assumed that God made her in the garden. Genesis chapter 2, verse 22, "And the rib which Yahweh God had taken from a man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man." After Adam's sin, he and Eve were put back. Genesis chapter 3, verse 23. "Therefore Yahweh God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from where he was taken." So many people have a lot of misconceptions about the Bible, and one is that they were made in the garden, or that when Eve ate the apple, that Adam was with her. We should not read into Bible scriptures, just read out of them. Eve alone, coming from Adam's onto the gentleman's next point, or main point about Eve, Rebecca, Mary, and so on. Eve alone, coming from Adam's rib, or ribs, should I say, because one rib was taken out of the many, is for a different purpose than polygamy or monogamy teaching. What was God to do? Was God to leave Adam with fewer ribs to prove his design for Rebecca, Stephanie, Mary, polygamy? The ribs are for protection of God's body design organs, not a marriage theology. The verse does not say it is not good that man or men should be alone, but it says in this way, Genesis 2:18, "And Yahweh said, it is not good that the singular man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him." Genesis 2 has nothing to do with marriage, but creation and a single human separated from the rest of humans of Genesis chapters 1, verse 27 and 5, verse 2. The same way Israel, the single firstborn nation, son of God, was set apart from other nations for a wider teaching precept. And we have this precept repeated with Abraham and so on. So Exodus chapter 4, verse 22 and 23. Israel, which God told Moses what to tell to Pharaoh, "Israel is my son, even my firstborn." And then later, "Let my son go, that he may serve me." Neither was there need to use Adam and Eve to multiply in the beginning, as the video presenter states. God does not break his own incest and sexual laws of Leviticus chapters 18, verses 6 to 17, which are quite comprehensive. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And for a study on Genesis, and especially chapters 1, verse 27, 5, verse 2, see the Genesis video link there. Women, like the two who sent me the video, and who refuse to accept God's polygamy way is probably due to a jealousy spirit. They practice a man having more than one woman, polygamy, as they were not the only woman of their male sexual partners. What they are against is simultaneously, whilst with them, to cause them to be emotionally jealous, angry, etc. God has covered jealousy in his marriage laws. For example, Leviticus chapter 18, verse 18. Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex her or make her jealous, to uncover her nakedness besides the other of the sister in her lifetime. There would be no need for that law if men were not to have if men were only to have one wife. God would simply have said not to do it, not to take any other woman, not how to sin in a permitted way. So God's laws are very clear. For example, Exodus chapter 20, verse 15, thou shalt not steal, as opposed to thou shalt not steal from thy sister. Simply stop using Genesis creation account to read into it God's marriage and sex design. He does that comprehensively in his laws, even to the point of with humans and animals. Leviticus chapter 80, verses 23, and chapters 20, 15 to 16. Thus, he had ample opportunity to simply forbid polygamy if he wished. Instead, his laws and men's practice without God's punishment supports it. As I said, God punished David for his adultery with Bathsheba, not for having more than one wife. If the unbiblical church paper marriage, divorce, and monogamy theologies are not reverted, Christian women will continue to compete with each other and other women for the few men, or even worse, few good men. Possibly be childless, die alone, and other sad consequences of no protection when, for example, other religions attack. God built up earthly armies for earthly battles. Exodus chapter 6, verse 26. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1 summarizes, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel and always provide for ourselves. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Now, for the feminists and avoidance of doubt, multiple partners, husbands, do not apply to women. I refer to a jealous women being jealous in above, about the sisters. A jealous husband is covered in God's laws in Numbers chapter 5, verse 14. Any objections, Yahweh may explain on your judgment day. Shalom, and please subscribe to the channel to search for any Bible book or topic and click the like video button.